What's going on, everyone? Rest here, and in today's video, if you read the title, I want to talk about is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands just Borderlands or Borderlands 3.5. Now I want to say really quick, this video is not to insult Gearbox and the game that they are developing, because I'm very excited for it. You can definitely expect to see content on this channel, so be sure to stick around if you guys want to keep up to date with that. But first off, let's start off talking about what Wonderlands is. So if you've been living under a rock, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is Gearbox's brand new game that they're coming out with on March 25th, 2022. It is based all around the Assault on Dragon Keep DLC from Borderlands 2, and it takes place in the Borderlands universe, just with its fantasy theme, and it is also a looter shooter. And with all that, you can pretty much go on and say that, well, yeah, this is kind of just the next Borderlands game. But the developers themselves has already said that this is not Borderlands and it is a standalone game. Now, obviously, if you take a look at the gameplay, it looks drastically similar to Borderlands 3, and that's because it's pretty much running on the same engine. And a lot of the weapon types in Borderlands 3 are actually going to be returning to Wonderlands, but they are going to be a little different. They have stated that they have updated their weapon systems, and obviously, we're going to have guns, swords, spells, and even things like bows in the game now. But on top of that, they've also said they can bring back some Borderlands 3 weapons to Wonderlands, and so that kind of furthermore increases that this is kind of just Borderlands 3.5, but it's still very cool because a lot of the guns of Borderlands 3 are actually really cool. So if you have any you would like to see, be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know. I personally want to see something like the Hellwalker come back because that is my favorite gun in Borderlands 3. Now, obviously, all you on this channel probably already know about Borderlands, the fact that it is an open world looter shooter with character building, and that is exactly what Wonderlands is going to be as well. The difference is, obviously, with Borderlands, you're going to have your vault hunters, and with Wonderlands, you can actually create your own characters. So that right there is already a difference from the Borderlands games, the fact that you are creating your own character instead of just selecting one character they've already given you. That doesn't draw away from the fact that both games do look very familiar, and that they probably are going to play out the exact same way, even though you do get to create your own character. They are even playing into it a little bit with something like the gun manufacturers. Pretty much every single manufacturer from Borderlands 3 and other games as well are going to be in Wonderlands, but they're actually changing the name up a little bit to just play into it, make it a little funny. But obviously, if we look at it from an overall perspective, this game is pretty much just the next Borderlands game, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that in a mean way whatsoever. And in fact, I think it's a good thing. And I'm just hoping that they take every single improvement that they have from Borderlands 3, because Borderlands 3 is pretty much in a good state right now. There is some balance issues, but actually take that over to Wonderlands, and we could have an absolute incredible game that is based in the Borderlands universe, but technically is a different game, and it's based all around the fantasy world that literally everybody has known to love. I really do think Gearbox has a gem up their sleeve with Wonderlands, and I just hope that they execute it very well. Now, speaking of improvements though, I just want to throw in some things that I would like to see in Wonderlands really quick. If we're looking at Borderlands 3 and comparing to this game, things like loot rarity, making legendaries actually feel unique again, just not raining like candy, or even if they do add another rarity like pearlescent, something to chase after, or even having like a curated legendary, kind of like a promo from Diablo, something like that, so you can grind for something that's very top tier and there's a super little chance that you have to get it. I really hope they implement a system like that and really try to fix the loot rarity issues. Now, anointments obviously is also a huge topic. A lot of people want anointments to go away. We've already seen from the trailer that the little anointment beam is on some of the gear that comes out, so anointments are 100% probably coming back. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but if they do come back, I really hope they change it to where the anointments only do specific little things and they're not just a huge 250% damage increase after you use your action skill. If there's an anointment like after you use a certain spell you get 300% increased damage, that is going to be a problem for the game, and I really hope that they don't do that, and I hope they're more so just like fun things, even if it's things just like increases the handling of your gun. Like it's not completely game changing, but I really do hope they tone it down. And even if they tone down the damage anoint specifically, there's still gonna be a problem because you're always gonna choose the damage anoint. Like even if it's just a 25% increased damage, that's the max you can get, you're gonna choose that over increased handling on your gun at all times, and it's just gonna be the only anoint that you're ever gonna want to use. So I really hope they have something planned for this, and if they do, I think it is going to be great. Now, obviously, balance is not the biggest thing with a Borderlands game because it's supposed to be fun. Like, you don't want, literally everything just to be on par with each other. You look for things just to be broken. It's kind of the point of the game, but you can also balance around that and not have things like the revolts be in the game, so it's pretty much the only shield you're going to run. And it also goes back to the anoint issue, because obviously with the revolts or with on Axial Star anoint, it procs any of the effects on Shieldbreaker Fill. That is just the best shield in the game, with the best anoint in the game, especially with that shield. And it literally just completely negates a lot of the other stuff in the game. Even things like on Axelan, you get bonus elemental damage. It's just not as good if you have Axial Assault or Volter. Volter is just insanely good. It's no reason to run anything else, and I really hope it is not like that in Wonderlands. I hope that there are some like broken OP things, obviously, that people want to go for, but I hope there's a a variety of those, and you can kind of decide what you want to use, and you're not just forced and locked into one thing. And even the stuff that isn't super good still has a chance to compete with that, but obviously just probably won't be as good. But I really hope they get the balance straight. One thing Borderlands 3 did do extremely well is to actually keep updating the game with hotfixes, changing things that were super broken, stuff that was underpowered. They buffed up a lot, and I want to see that continue as well. Now, also, I would like to see more builds as well. It kind of goes hand in hand with balance, though. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of different customization in this game. It's going to be really cool. If you haven't seen a video about the customization come to the game, I will link one down below. I'll go in detail talking about everything that you can do. And I'm crossing my fingers that with all this that we know, there's going to be a ton of builds. I hope it's not something like Moe's where you can just kind of get an Iron Bear and that's just the best thing in the game. I really hope there's a bunch of unique builds that you can craft, and I am really looking forward to that. Now, again, obviously I'm going to be covering a lot of these on the channel, so if you want to see those, be sure to stick around. Now, also replayability in game is also another huge thing. I think Borderlands 3 was getting into the gear of in-game really well. Obviously with the raid boss coming out, takedowns are super cool, so I really hope they take the stuff like that and improve on it in Wonderlands, add a lot of raid bosses, make takedowns even better than they already are, make them actually rewarding, make the game replayable in any way. And I think if they do all that, in game is going to be in a very good spot. Also, other little things, save quit farming. This game's coming out in 2022. If we can somehow manage to get rid of that and not have to just save quit constantly, I know that's kind of the niche of Borderlands, at least it was from the start, but if you can somehow manage to get rid of that, I think that'll also be great. And then also take risks. Like, don't be scared to go out the box a little bit. I know obviously since this is based in the fantasy world, they're already kind of doing that with the story itself and things they're going to do, but don't be scared to take risks. Don't keep it specifically Borderlands 3 or Borderlands 2 or just any of the Borderlands games at that. Make it something unique. Obviously play off what Borderlands does well, but make it its own thing, and that is going to tie it back to the title of the video is Wonderlands, Borderlands 3.5. I really hope that they prove that they can actually make it a different style of Borderlands game, but actually keep it in the universe. And if they do all that, keep all the quality of life updates from Borderlands 3 into the next game, and I seriously think we can have an absolute amazing game coming March 25th. And once again, Borderlands 3.5, Borderlands 4, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it's going to be that, but even if it is, that is not a bad thing. Borderlands 3 is a great game. Borderlands 2 is a great game. Borderlands is a great game. All of them are great. So even if it is the next Borderlands game, it's going to be really good, and it's based in the universe that we have all came to love. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Are you excited for it? Do you think it actually is just the next Borderlands game? Is it going to be something unique? Personally, I think it's going to be unique, and I'm very excited for it. I cannot wait for March 25th, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can't as well. But anyway, that's what it all for me. If you guys did enjoy, do all the normal YouTube stuff. It really helps the channel grow, and I truly appreciate it. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.